So what's going on, James? I'm doing this kind of for you, but at the same time, I'm just really bored, and I like to be a coach more. I like coaching more than I like playing. Um, you know, with anything, to be honest, I'd rather be a mentor than to actually perform. I feel like that's just my style. But I wanted to take since you're new to competitive, and I want this to be a real thing, right? I want our competitive experience to be better than the other competitive experiences I've had in the past with people who I didn't really um like compare to in terms of like our personalities. So I wanted to take a really good game between the most hype team in the CDL called Call of Duty League and a team that nobody like really cares about. Um, and I know Optic like the back of my hand. I know the players. I know the roles that they play, and so they're way better than the Paris Legion, as you can see. Oh, well, you can't see, but they are better. They're going to destroy them on this raid hardpoint, and I wanted to take this as a learning opportunity. So I'm just gonna go through the raid hardpoint and all that jazz. Excuse me.
Map down to a T. So if you're new
Excuse me.
players like
Okay, so they start. I'm gonna make this full screen. So they start. Um, so basically on raid hardpoint, this side with my where my cursor is, that's where Paris spawned. That's actually bad side, right? It's actually preferable to have this side because you actually get to the hardpoint faster. But that's besides the point. So on the I don't know about the Paris team because I don't care about them, right? All I care about is Optic. So whenever they're on Paris, I'm still gonna be talking about Optic. Scump, right? He is their Slayer. He's gonna be running that. He's gonna be running the sub, right? Slayers usually run subs, right? Well, they base the 100% of the time they run subs. So your Slayers are the ones that go out and get the kills. They don't worry about the point. Um, they go out and they're like the first line. They're your fraggers. Well, I say fraggers because that's what we use in different games as the people who go and kill, right? Um, Scump is your Slayer. Formal, I actually gave you the wrong roles when we first talked. The roles of a 4v4 Call of Duty, team. You have your main AR, you have your Slayer, and then you have your two supports, right? So Formal is their main AR. He's going to be running an AR no matter what map they're on, no matter what they're playing, no matter the game mode, no matter whatever, unless they have a specific strat that specifically calls for 4 subs. Formal is going to be running an AR 99.9% of the time, unless he picks up a sub from the floor because he has no ammo, things like that. So he's your main AR. Main ARs are meant to be in the power positions, right? That's what they call them in Call of Duty. Power positions, you're going to be in high ground, you're going to be in the windows, you're going to be holding angles, you're going to be on head glitches that look at the entire map. You're going to be in those power positions. That's what you do as a main AR, and you have to have really good aim. Dashy and Envoy are your supports, right? The objective player I told you was a role, and I truthfully think that Envoy and Scump and Dashy all share that role as objective player. Actually, like, it's weird, right? Because just because you have the objective player doesn't mean that nobody else can get on the point. You know what I mean? It's just I feel like I still have a conservative view of roles in Call of Duty, but forget the objective role for now, right? Envoy and Dashy are your supports. Envoy runs a sub, and Dashy usually runs a second AR. Now, since Dashy isn't main AR, his AR is usually... Excuse me, oh my god. I have a lot of gas. Dashy's AR is usually going to be more mobile, and he's also going to be running around with the AR more. Dashy is a support because he can play the role that he needs to play in that moment with the AR. If he needs to play on point, then he'll play on point, right? But he's going to be smart with it, all because he has an AR. If he needs to look over Envoy, right? Envoy's right here. If he needs to look over Envoy, he'll do that, but he'll be on point, right? He'll be, that sort of watch over, but still on point. But if Formal needs help locking down a specific area, then he'll play back and he won't get on point. That'll be Envoy and Scump's job. You know what I mean? So as a support player, you support, right? You do what is needed in that moment, and Envoy does the same thing, right? Envoy's more objective based, but if he needs to go out and kill because Scump is dead, then he'll do that, and then Scump will get on point or Dash will get on point. So it's a very good synergy that they have, right? They have their roles, but at the same time, they understand what is needed in that moment, right? Just because you have a role doesn't mean that you can't do another person's role for the moment, because, you know, Call of Duty is a game where people die and all that. And, you know, you need to fulfill the in-the-moment role. But for the most part, they're going to be doing what I just explained. Formal's the main AR, Scump's the Slayer, and these two are the support players that, you know, just do whatever is needed. So let's get to the gameplay.
Probably haven't got a chance. You have to adapt to this quickly.
Yeah, you definitely do.
So Scump's on point, as you can see.
Talk about this
You
map.
know, he's, you know, like I said, he's their Slayer. You know what I mean? So he's going to be on the point contesting. Once they break the point, that's when he gets off of it, right? As you can see, number 6, Dashy, he's coming from middle, right? So he's doing like, you know, what supports do. He flanks, he, you know, supports the team, and then whatever is needed once they capture the point, he'll do.
When it was in the rotation back in Black Ops 2.
And you can see Formal. Look at Formal going to the high ground. He's their main AR. That's what he's going to do. He's going to get that power position while Envoy comes down and tries to get on point as fast as possible while Dashy's flanking. It all comes in together. And look, Scump spawned out, and we'll see what he does after that. But you see this collapse, right? Formal, Envoy, Dashy. They're literally, like, you know, they're getting attacked on all cylinders here. So Envoy gets a kill. They get a kill. 3 dead. Boom. You see that, right? You see that collapse? Dashy picks up middle, Formal picks up top, Envoy picks up bottom, and Scump is now rotating, right? There's still 38 seconds left on the point, but he's rotating to get these spawns because you want kitchen, right? That's the smart thing to do. You have point. Why get on point? Go for the next big thing, which is spawns.
To hop inside the hill off the rip.
So number 4 gets a kill.
Over control early.
And look, now they have kitchen spawn.
For next player
Dashy's on point, just playing, you know, longer positions, and he gets taken down. That's fine. Envoy picks up middle. Look, Formal's on point, which is weird. But you see how he's on this side looking towards the driveway as a long, you know, he has an AR, so obviously you have to play like you have one, right? And since he doesn't need to go get spawns because Dashy's already in the back, and they have them completely trapped back here. They know this, right? As a team, you have to know where your enemy is spawning. And so Formal doesn't need to be doing crazy things.
And you have the rotation.
Or he doesn't need to be holding power positions at the moment because he has them. They have them completely trapped. So Envoy gets caught out here. And so look, now we're rotating. And since I think the reason why they left Formal on point is because this is kitchen. And kitchen, there is really no long line of sights. So if anything, it's actually better to leave Formal on point because he can take up this middle line of sight and use his AR in the circle to get kills middle. So that's probably why they left him. So, like I said, just because he's main AR doesn't mean he can't get on point, but it's actually smart to leave him on because of this line of sight and because he would be able to do basically nothing here, right? Because he has an AR.
Totally forget about
and his skill set is medium range.
Just set up for the second.
We'll see how they look to try to engage.
So Scump's in the front line here. Envoy picks up 3. That's awesome.
That's going to be 3 in the feed. Classic.
No, and so Classic here, he actually pushes the left side and gets spawns, which is good for the other team.
Despite the nade, Legion do get the spawns kind of toward that back basketball court.
No, they collapse in front.
They
have points still, which is odd.
Keeping strong.
Yeah, Classic made a tremendous play, going around that water side, going to money. Trying to pick up a 2-piece, forces this player to spawn at basketball and the opposite players from Optic to spawn towards Raid, but they just did a great job of just holding this from the front, eventually clearing out the players in the back. They're going to hold a full 60 on this P2, and since this is Raid hard,
I could have paused that and talked about it, but it wasn't really worth it. It's just good teamwork by them.
Classic, one of the first men already out of the gates, and Legion.
So we know that next hard point is right over here, right? So the good thing is to get spawns. I forget where the good. I mean, as long as you have point. I mean, you can either spawn here, around here, or you can spawn around here. I think. I forget. I don't know.
End up spawning toward that back kitchen position. So if you're Chicago, this is great for you. Given the start of this game, you're already in a great position in regards to the score, and now you can also lock down.
Envoy's on point first. Dashy's with them. Both the supports doing what they're doing.
And fire. With
Now
that
they have point.
74U, wants to try to get in here before
Just
the trophies
chillin'.
start to get locked down. Optic setting up camp as they will hold on. At least
And look at Scump. He's in Mansion right now. No, that's not Scump. That's Formal. Formal's in Mansion right
to the
now.
start of this first set of
I
rotations.
think he's looking to make sure that, yeah, that's exactly what he's doing. With the AR, he's looking at stairs. You know, he turns around right now, but he's looking at stairs to make sure that they don't come from this side and that they can get that close spawn, right?
But see what they have up their sleeves.
And
in
so he
regards
goes
to
back
the
and forth,
initial
making sure
attack
nobody
as
slips.
Envoy keeping
Somebody's
it up
actually
on a
slipped under him.
spree, starting things off at 10
They're going to have a
and
gunfight
4.
right
How
here.
about a
Formal
6
wins
to
that,
1 in a
and now that's
row?
4 dead,
Dylan Envoy,
right? So he wins his 1-on-1, which is huge. Scump wins his 1-on-1, which is huge, right? And then they win the left side.
Absolutely
So
heating
it's just,
up as
you
no
know,
one
they're
from
just the better
Paris
team. So
really even
that's why
having
that happens.
an opportunity to get closer toward that
And look,
hill.
now they're up 100 points. So you can see how, you know, everybody's playing their role effectively and everybody's, you know, playing with teamwork. You know, the thing that you don't see here that I can't really verbally communicate to you is their teamwork, because their teamwork, you have to, you know, chemistry, comms, right, communication, things like that. You know, how long they've been playing together, that's chemistry. Those are things I can't verbally communicate to you because I don't know them personally. I don't play on the team, but that's obviously a big factor. But also just game sense, right? Playing what your role needs you to play, and being good at it, right?
A few players still sitting in art, and how about the 7th Envoy? Not slowing down, heads over the top. Art, don't tell me he's gonna win with this fight. No, a little bit close, a good opportunity, but what a start from
And so
Chicago.
now they're just
out of the
slaying
gate.
out. Now they're just trying to get kills, right? Because they have 17 seconds. They need to be rotating, but you can't rotate unless your side is clear. That's the one thing that a lot of people don't understand, is that when you're rotating to the next hard point, you need to make sure that there's nobody that can kill you on rotation, right? So that means that you need to clear out your side of the map. Their side of the map is this side right here. So that's why you see it was Envoy on the left side here, you know, fighting this guy over here, because he's on the side, right? If he leaves this guy alive, then that guy can come middle, kill any people trying to rotate through zigzag, and then he can also go stairs and cut off anybody that's trying to come through mansion, because the next point's up here, right? So you need to make sure, or just like the team needs to make sure, that before they rotate, they get 4 dead or everybody dead, so that they spawn all the way back, so that the enemy team spawns all the way back here, and that they can rotate safely and they can get a clear break once their next hardpoint comes online. So you see Scump in number 3 about to have another battle, and this is a key battle, because if this guy stays alive, then he can come middle, he can go red, and he can just cause a nuisance. If he gets even 1 kill, that's amazing, because then Optic, whoever he just killed, spawns back here, which will delay their push to this hard point significantly. So this is a huge kill right here. This is a huge 1-on-1.
It's already a 100-point advantage.
And he loses it. But so now, as you can see, he's looking here, trying to make sure that nobody comes through here, but they're both coming middle. One actually might come through red.
And this is
They're actually both
scary
going to go through
for
red.
Paris
And so now
Legion.
he's going to
So
run
far, they
away.
got
He's going to get caught in the
destroyed on
back,
every single one of
which was a bad
rotations.
play by him. He just needs to have better awareness than that. And since he kills him, Scump spawns red. And so now they're going to rotate it through kitchen, because this is how you want to get the spawn. The spawn is up here. That's the preferable spawn for this hard point. Because if not, then you spawn back here, and you definitely do not want that. Because up here, you have all the high ground and this little cutoff right here. You have money window. You have kitchen. You basically just have the best, right? This is the spawn that you want. If you're down here, all you have is mansion. Nobody's going to peek you if you're there. And you also have this low ground, which is no good, right? Because you can get shot from top stairs. You can get shot from cutoff. Everything.
Even when they're getting there early.
So now it's going to be a
going
3-man
Optic
push
are
to the
winning their
spawn,
gun by
which is
1-on-1,
amazing,
and
right?
so
This is
far
what you
Team
want to do
Bronze
on
with a
raid hardpoint on this
130-point
side.
lead. You saw that
If
on-
your team isn't doing it, you do it by yourself, right? Because you know, you just gotta hope that your team maybe gets a kill or 2, like, you know, middle, bottom, and you just gotta play it smart. Gotta sneak in through the back.
Envoy picked up that artillery. He's gonna be able to
And so look at this 3-man
use
push.
it off this rotation. That's why they said
He's
it's
gonna get
leaning
taken
towards that
down.
backside, but
He's gonna get taken
Fire
down.
Classic
Okay,
is
it's 3 dead. So it was a good idea. Obviously, they just got destroyed. You know, just 3 dead. There was nothing you could have did there.
trying to play spoiler, able to take 2 down, now forcing all of Optic to spawn back at
So
1.
like I said, they spawned back here. And so now they got to fight through the low ground, which is definitely not preferable. I would actually hope to see them go through top stairs, maybe get a gunfight right here and go through kitchen. Because if they can get this guy here, then he'll spawn back here, and then they can just go through kitchen and have, you know, one-on-one gunfights in there, trades, things like that.
I know we saw it for a moment.
And since they're in kitchen and so close to the spawn, they might not even spawn here. They might spawn over here, which is more preferable for Optic.
I think it was a 1 and 9 start.
So look, that's actually what they're doing. 2 are coming upstairs,
Debut. That's
and we're going to see what
exactly
happens.
what you want as the Legion
So it's a
try to
trade
hold
in middle.
Here at basketball, we're going to go to an Astro
He
Gaming
kills
listening
one.
with Optic
So
Chicago.
number 6 pulls in,
Chicago.
and now it's a 2-on-1 in there. No, they're going to listen into their communication. And so this point might just completely be scrapped, right? You might just, what the pros like to say, they chalk this hard point, meaning that you don't fight for it anymore. Because they have preferable spawn and, you know, what's the point? But they actually might get some advantage here because there's 2 in kitchen, but I killed this guy window. Once you get window control, you're in a good spot, right? Because you can go cut out, you can go back. And you have one person really fighting the point, but this number 6 is about to pull up. So you kind of do have, you know, a bit of a fighting chance here. And they get the kill window. So that's awesome. And so he's weak. Now they're both going to... Now, look, this is what they do. It's called flooding the hard point. It's when you put all your bodies on point and hope that you win your one-on-one trades and stuff like that on the point. Right? Because they see that they killed one window, meaning that that at least 2 of them are on point. Right? They know that at least 2, they killed one. So that means that there's only one other alive. And you can see him up there. So they're going to try and flood point, win their one-on-one because they feel that they have an advantage on the point. So if you put 3 bodies on point, you get trades, and now you win the hard point for free, right? Or not for free, but... So boom, they get a trade. Boom, he gets 1. He doesn't get traded out. And boom, that's what flooding the hard point does, right? When you get advantage other places, sometimes flooding the hard point is the best strategy.
I'm behind him. Nice. Yo, they're spawning auto. 2 of them. Yeah, you can get ring.
Yeah, he said they're spawning old, meaning old hard point. This is about to be new hard point. And so they're spawning old. 2 of them spawned old, which is actually a really good call out.
2 spawn auto. Cut out scraps. I have ring, guys. Where's the kitchen?
And so now they cut off the map, right? Now they know that they're spawning over here. There's a one-on-one gunfight right here. They know that they're going to be in kitchen, right? Optic know that Paris is going to be in kitchen. And so now they hold this side of the map while Paris holds this side of the map.
Give me water too. I got 1 ring.
They get 1, they get 2, they get 3. And now you just look. Now you know where they're spawning, right? Because since there's so many people up here, obviously you know they're not going to be spawning over here. They're going to be spawning over here. So now you have number 6, which is Dashy, holding the flank, which is what a really good support player does. You hold the flank, right? Especially the support AR, you hold the flank, right? Because the main AR is watching over point. Right, which is, although Formal is in point, he's sort of watching over it as well. I'd like to see him not on point. I'd like to see him back in zigzag, you know, watching kitchen like that, because low ground is definitely not that good. But he has this mean head glitch right here on this rock, so that's probably why. I'd like to see either Envoy or Scump take his place, but, you know, I think Scump just dies and Envoy wasn't close, so that's why he takes up point. So 2 go down. That's not good. Because Dashy lost his 1-on-1 right side. So now they're definitely going to lose this point unless they do something miraculous. They get 1. He gets traded. Envoy's there. He gets 1. He gets traded. Trade. Then they get 3. Wow. There's just like a whole bunch of trades. Yeah, this is just... Paris played that decently well, but Optic's just better. Because they did what they could, right? They brought 2 stairs and they brought 2 kitchen. But they didn't wait for each other. That's the thing. That's actually a really good teaching lesson right there. Actually, they did. So you can see there's a skull right there, meaning that somebody just died. So they brought 2 kitchen, 2 stairs. But they didn't flood in at the same time. You know what I mean? Like, the people in kitchen are still in kitchen while the 2 on stairs are dead. You know what I mean? If the dudes on stairs are fighting, kitchen needs to come out and take advantage of the crossfire. That's the thing. You have to understand when your teammates are you know, in a fight. You know, okay, that happens. They just get scrap time. Scrap time is the last, you might know this, but scrap time is the last like 10 seconds of a hard point that, you know, you don't really want because you'd rather be rotating than doing all that.
Really kind of throughout that calm session. It is Chicago streak after Chicago streak. The XM4 is hot for Formal. It is hot for Dash. I mean, everybody is going off right now. I think it was.
So like, they definitely don't have an advantage. Actually, Paris has good spawn here, right? They have laundry spawn. That means that they can have their main AR up here, which I think is Aqua. Aqua's their main AR. Some dude on point. I have no idea who this Fire is. I've never seen that dude play in any Call of Duty ever. But look at how they attack this. I actually want to see how Optic goes around breaking this. So you see Scump Dashy coming from driveway side. Dashy, more likely than not, is going to go top, or he's going to go driveway. I actually don't know. Let me not predict this and try to sound cool. Okay.
Formal just a moment ago was like 12-2. Now he's 13-4. They are all guns ablaze to start off this.
He gets destroyed. Formal uses a streak.
Unbelievable, man. This is a
And so now
great
look,
first-
Paris, this is a good play by them. You forget the point. Don't put any bodies on it. You know, by the way they're looking, they know that people are trying to attack the spawn. So what you do is you have to protect the spawn, right? Because next is kitchen. Just because there's 50 seconds left on this hard point, basically the entire time still on it, you need to make sure that you protect your spawn because you need next, right? This point and next is most important. So you need to make sure that you maintain the spawn, right? Because this is preferable spawn for this point and the next point. So spawn is more important than time right now, even though they're down by triple.
rotation of hard points. They dominated.
But they're just not doing it well because they let him slip.
Winning a majority of their gunfights. We were talking about it beforehand.
And,
Aqua
you
Fire
know, okay,
need to
they
be
did
those
do it
players
good.
to step up.
So they
7
keep their spawn.
for the young man.
But this guy, number 4, needs to hurry up, get out of there so that he doesn't mess up spawns, right? Because look at that. See, this is just, they just made a terrible play. Look at this. They kill the 2 in their spawn, 5 and 7, right? Envoy just died, and 5, which is Formal, is about to die as well. Boom. 2 skulls. They both die.
And Fire.
Number 4, which is Fire on the Paris team, spawns out, right? He gets a split spawn. And he spawns all the way where Optic is, which means that the people that just died are not going to spawn here, I don't think. They're going to spawn maybe over here, right? Because number 4 is messing up the spawn. So you need to make sure as Paris that you have a body over here so that those 2 that you just killed do not spawn here, because it could very much be possible that they will spawn either in basketball, here, and have easy access to the spawn. So we're going to see where they spawn. Okay, so he ends up pushing up, so that's why the spawn gets cleared up. So they both spawn there. 5, but see, look at this. 3 bodies on point now. It doesn't matter what you're doing. You don't need 3 bodies on point. You need to make sure that one, although they had basically 4 dead, you need to make sure that you have a person in the spawn in a situation where there's 4 dead. They need to be running back to the spawn instantaneously, which I hope they do. Number 1 does that. And so look, they both turn around. That's good. They go back to the spawn. That could have been bad, though. If they didn't have 4 dead right there, then it could have very well much been that Optic spawns back here. Spawns can be confused. Spawns can be annoying in new Call of Duties because of the way, like, Modern Warfare spawns were the worst spawns supposedly, right? So you need to make sure that you don't do anything that can give Optic a chance, right? Which is protect the spawn from any weird nuance, stuff like that. Number 7, Envoy, tries to attack Money Window. Right? So a whole bunch of trades go down, and look, Envoy has control of the spawn now.
Able to keep the rotation spawns towards kitchen. And that number 2 player, which is going to be Classic, has a big gunfight versus Envoy.
Yeah, and so Classic needs to win this one-on-one if he wants to control
Right
spawn.
now for Classic. Envoy in the back spawns.
He
They
does,
shut him
because he
down.
knows he's
So
there.
good attempt for Envoy, at least for the moment.
They have
Classic
Paris has
cleans up
preferable
Paris.
spawn now,
Now with
and
P1
look,
time,
now they're
now
only
heading
down
into
by
kitchen.
double
This is
instead of
their
triple, which
opportunity
they were.
to start to bring this one back, and it has to happen now. Scump pretty much walked.
I don't know why Aqua's running main AR and Money Window. That's just a bad play by him.
Right through the front door.
He doesn't. He kind of look confused, right? Look at the way look at his movement. Look at his movement.
Paris now with the P1 time now heading.
You know,
into
he's trying to play kitchen, which, you know, okay, if you play around this pillar and you look front, that's a decent position as a
for
AR.
the moment.
but he just looks
Classic
confused. He
cleans
doesn't
up
he doesn't look like he knows
Now
what
with
he's
the
doing.
one time now heading into
Right
kitchen.
now
This
he's
is their
going into
opportunity
money window.
to
Look
start
at his
to bring
movement.
this
He doesn't
one
know what he's
back, and
doing.
it has to
Right?
happen
He's switching
now.
corners.
Scump pretty much walked
Doesn't know where his team is. That could probably be that he doesn't know where his team is, but it's just like you got to play better, right? You got to know what to do in those nuanced situations.
right through the front door of kitchen. Nobody watching it. Scraps also ends up getting taken
Mind you, I'm no pro player, but like I can just tell that that was wrong right there.
down. Classic up close. He also falls.
Optic just
T2T,
breaks
they
'cause they're
hold
better.
strong. Optic pretty
That's
much
literally
walk
why.
right through the front of the hill, and they take it right
Because
back
statistically, you shouldn't be able to break from front if you have back control, but they're just better.
over. That's what the third, if not fourth hill.
Then, so look, two kitchen, and since they're down, since Paris is down so much, they're not gonna go for spawn, right? If they let them, if Paris goes through spawn, first of all, it's just not a good idea, right? It's just not a good idea to go for spawn because you need fast breaks now, so you need a miracle play. And also, if you go for spawn, that's going to waste too much time. And by the time you actually break the spawn, let's say Paris does, there's only going to be 20 seconds left on the point. And Optic's going to spawn around here. And then they're going to have preferable spawn for the next hard point, right? So there's no point to go for spawn. Only go through front. And they know this. That's why there's nobody looking right side. Optic know this, right? So they hold 2 on point, 1 window, 1 money, right? And Envoy wins his 1-on-1 in money, as he should, because he has high ground and a head glitch. And number 6, which is Dashy, I think he just spawned up, so we'll see what he does.
That Optic has pretty much not held the rotation for, yet
He's looking to make sure there's nobody going for the deep flank, as he should do, because he has second AR. He has support AR, and, you know, like I said, support players watch flanks.
grab the time as now we see a team.
So Envoy loses his 1-on-1 there.
Come through
Now
on
Dashy
Scrap.
goes, since he died, this is an amazing play by Dashy, right? It's not an amazing play, but like it's very good game sense. Your teammate dies right here. You're watching an insignificant part, so you know that you need to go pick that up, and he goes straight to cutoff. And what does he do? He's probably gonna pick it up too. No, he doesn't. He's about to pick up that kill.
All they have to do is just break through that front, forcing the players from
And he
Paris to
does.
prevent them
See,
from going
amazing
towards
play.
water. And now Optic was holding this
Right?
front
Even though they're in the
for
lead by
22
a
seconds
whole
remaining on
bunch.
this hill. They're gonna be
You know,
able
you
to
don't
push it to
you
another
don't
into
lose
that
the way
P3.
you're supposed to
Looks
play.
like Paris is gonna be fully set up to try to bring this game back in.
And so now they're gonna break from the right side here. As you can see, 2. This guy's looking towards this side.
But the way that Optic are starting
They're
off
gonna
this
break
hot
through red.
point is so hot.
It is, and your Legion, you're just trying to put out the flames. You're trying to do anything you can, try to mitigate a lot of the early dominance that we've seen.
And they're playing it slow, right? They're waiting for formal, so they're just holding red. What they're trying to do here is they're trying to catch anybody making a mistake on Paris, and they're also waiting for formal.
Envoy is calling the artillery.
Oh, and they're waiting for streaks too. My bad.
It used to be called Lambos. The cars here now, they can explode. And unfortunately for the Legion numbers, they're probably learning that
Trades coming in.
progressively more and more. A lot of
Yep,
experience with
1 for
Chicago.
1
We'll talk
trades.
about
Envoy gets
few
an
of these
extra kill, so
maps,
they're
as
up
this
1.
in particular,
Actually up
as
2 since
Envoy
he
comes
got a
pretty much
streak.
right through, ends up taking them down with the
Trades.
explosives.
Optics winning these
Working to
trades
his
because they're
advantage
just
as a few
better.
more seconds left, and this one is going to be cleaned up. Can Scraps
Scraps
get there
gets
in time?
2.
No, not
And
gonna
they
happen.
get, okay. So it's just a blowout, as you can see. But as you can see, they play their roles very effectively, very nicely. A lot of game sense, right? A lot of in the moment, on your feet thinking. That comes with practicing, that comes with playing as a team, that comes with just being an experienced Call of Duty player, right? I'm not trying to say I have that, and I'm not trying to say you don't, but there's no buts, right? To be in a competitive situation, you got to play hard point and control over and over again, right? You need to learn spawns. You need to, you know, understand when's the right time to not get on hard point, get on hard point. You know, that one time where Paris was trying to defend their spawn through laundry side, that was an amazing time to not get on point. I highlighted it. I said they're not getting on point. They're trying to clear out people that are trying to attack their spawn, and they did. Then they finally got on point. Did they do it perfectly? No, but it ended up working out for them, right? So, you know, whatever role you play, you have to understand what the most important thing in that moment is to do. If there's people on point and you have control of the hard point and you just got 4 dead, what's the next biggest thing you need to do? You need to push up, not too far so that you flip spawns. You need to push up, gain map control, and make sure that you keep them in their spawn. You need to soft spawn trap them, right? let's say, let's just pull up this map again. They had a map up right here. Let's say you know you're Optic, right, and you have and the hard point is in circle, right, and you have this side. You just got 4 dead, right, and you know you just spawned up, right. You just spawned up. You spawn over here. Your team just got just killed 4, and now they're all spawning like over here. You have 1 on point, 1 up here, and maybe you have 2 on point, 1 up here. What's the next best thing you need to do? You need to pick up middle, right? Because the only thing that they're not holding is this right here. Even though there's 1 top, you could use the support because very often you can have just somebody slip through these arches and get on point. So what do you need to do? No matter the gun that you use, you pick up middle, right? Middle is important. And the way you pick up middle is going to be different by what gun you have. So if you have an AR, you're going to hold middle from over here. But if you have a sub, then potentially you're going to push up to this water side and try to get right here and hold middle like this, right? Because this is the only way that they're going to come into middle is this zigzag. They're not going to come in through stairs because they're going to be spawning over here, right? So if somebody's going to come through stairs, that's just a waste of time for them. So if you have a sub, you're going to hold it over here. If you have an AR, you have to hold it over here. And those are just things that come with experience with a gun, right? If you're a sub player, you know how to play with a sub. If you're an AR player, you know how to play with an AR, right? But if you're not an AR player and you have an AR in your hand, then you need to know what the best situation and how to play your gun in that specific scenario, right? So that's just a little game sense thing, right? How do you hold a specific area of the map with the gun that you have, right? You need to hold middle. How do you do it with the gun that you have? With a sub, if you're over here, that's not very favorable for you, right? Because it's a medium to long range gunfight, and anybody that comes through middle could either have another sub or they can have an AR. And if they have an AR, you're screwed, and you can't take that chance, right? Because you can't take that chance. You're gonna die. So you gotta play it up close. If you have an AR, you don't want to play it up close because more likely than not, the AK-74U that comes through here is going to kill you, right? So you have to play it over here. You have to take that one-on-one gunfight far away. So that's exactly what you do. And since you know that, if the hard point's in circle, the next one's in kitchen, then you play it smart. You're holding middle. You're making sure nobody's trying to come through kitchen to get to the spawn. And if you die there, then number 7 can probably come through the person holding top laundry can come to the back and do all that jazz, right? So it's very intuitive. It's very, it's very step by step. You need to know where your team are at all times. You need to know what is being needed at the moment, right? If your team doesn't have the hard point, what's the best way to break it? To bottom to top, flood the hard point, go for spawns, and completely try not to take gunfights until you get to the spawn. All these questions need to be answered in the moment while you're playing. And Optic's just better. They have better communication. They have better teamwork. They have better, basically, gun skill, everything. They're just better. Then they could just, mollywop the other team. But, in close league play games, those decisions come in more handy than gun skill, believe it or not. I truthfully believe that, game sense comes more in handy than gun skill, like 80% of the time. And that's why, right? Because the better you can set yourself up to get easy kills, the easier the game's going to be. So that's my little spiel. It was around 33 minutes long. Yeah. I hope this was enjoyable in some way.